Hi, my name is Philip King and welcome to What is SEO? This video lesson is part of a series on search engine optimization. Further lessons can be found on my website and there's no need to worry about the cost, they're all free of charge. So, what exactly is search engine optimization or SEO? Well, SEO, as you've probably already guessed, is an acronym for Search Engine Optimization, and this is the process of editing a website's content and code in order to improve visibility within one or more of the search engines. When this term is used to describe an individual, it stands for Search Engine Optimizer, or one who performs SEO. We'll be using the term in the former sense. Now we know what SEO is all about, i.e. altering a website in some way to rank higher in the search engines. Let's see an example. Let's presume we're going on holiday and need to place our dog, Fido, into a kennel facility for the duration. Let's begin with a Yahoo search. We enter our search phrase as normal, boarding kennels Kent UK holiday. In other words, we're looking for a facility for boarding our dog in kennels in Kent whilst away on holiday. As is usual, I've removed all the irrelevant words from the search, leaving us with just our search keyword phrase. At the top of the Yahoo search results page, we have the sponsored results. But for this tutorial, we're just going to ignore the sponsored results. So what are we looking for in these results? Well, we're looking for any listing which consistently gets a high ranking in the search engines, and by high ranking I mean on the first page. So in the searches we're going to conduct, we're only looking at the first page between the top and bottom sponsored links. Looking at the page between the top and bottom sponsored links, we can see that Canada Farm Boarding Kennels has captured positions 1 and 3. Now that's really good. The second position was captured by Kent Boarding Kennels, and the 4th and 9th position captured by a company called Boarding Kennels. Notice that every position except Home Boarding Kent in position 5 and Fine Pet Boarding in position 6 has Boarding Kennels in their URL. Is this a coincidence? Now let's do a totally new search using the Bing search engine. We'll use exactly the same search terms as before, Boarding Kennels Kent UK holiday, and see who shows up. Again, we're going to ignore the sponsored listings. Incredibly, in Bing, Canada Farm Boarding Kennels has snapped up positions 1 and 2. We still have Fine Pet Boarding and Home Boarding Kent fighting for positions 3 and 4, and Boarding Kennels is still there with 2 positions at places 7 and 9, with Kent Boarding Kennels getting position 5. Now let's pop over to Google and do the search again. Paste exactly the same search terms in, Boarding Kennels Kent UK holiday, and yet again see who shows up. Again, just ignore the sponsored listings. Wow, look at that. In Google, Canada Farm Boarding Kennels has snapped up positions 1 and 2 again. But where's Kent Boarding Kennels? It looks like they didn't get listed in Google, at least not on page 1, and neither did any of the others. Okay, let's do one last search. This time we'll use an engine that takes the best of the various search engines and compiles them into a very unique combined search. And with no pun intended, the search engine is called Dogpile. Years ago, Dogpile was the fast and efficient choice before Google, but things changed and Dogpile faded into obscurity. Google became king. Today, Dogpile is coming back, with a growing index and a clean and quick presentation. When you analyze this listing, guess who you find? That's right, the same old faces. Canada Farm Boarding Kennels is right there at 1st and 9th positions, the only one to get into all 4 of our search results. Following closely on our results table are Boarding Kennels, Kent Boarding Kennels and Find Pet Boarding, all of whom achieved listings on page 1 in 3 of our searches. I hope you agree. These results are somewhat phenomenal. There is some serious SEO going on here. Let me ask you a question. How many boarding kennels do you think there are in the world? Let's refine that question. How many boarding kennels do you think there are in the UK? More than 14? Think about this. With potentially hundreds, if not thousands, of potential hits for our search, why, with 30 places available, did we get the same 14 entries? The answer is very simple. Whoever wrote these web pages did a really good job of search engine optimization. I hope you noticed the bolded text in these results. These are the keywords I entered for the search. The number of hits in a listing gives you an indication of how optimized the listing is for those search terms. In particular, take a look at Canada Farm's Boarding Kennels entry. Almost every word is a hit. Also take note of the title. See how closely it matches the keywords? Okay, let's follow the link for Canada Farm Boarding Kennels and see what we have. If we click on the first entry, we are taken to their home page. This is known as a landing page. Landing pages are another aspect of search engine optimization we will discuss in a later lesson. Now, although the search results we've been viewing contain a lot of home pages, which are also landing pages, there is no reason why your landing page should be the home page. Your landing page can be any web page. The landing page should simply be a highly optimized page for the targeted keywords. If we follow the link for Canada Farm's Boarding Kennels' second entry, this takes us to their location page, another highly optimized landing page. In fact, if we highlight the keywords on each of these pages, we can see how optimized the pages really are. On the location landing page, the keyword density is quite high. I don't have a tool for measuring this at the moment, but I'll endeavour to find something and put a link on the SEO tools section of my website for you. Okay, what about the other page? If we switch to their home page, which was at position 1 in the search results, strangely, we see the first screen contains very few keywords. And this is a point worth noting. Graphics don't get indexed unless you use good file names, alt meta tags, or title meta tags. We'll discuss this more later. Scrolling down, we can see that in the lower section of the page, the keyword density is considerable. Bottom line, both these pages are highly optimized web pages, which is why Canada Farm Boarding Kennels is the top dog for these search terms. Now let's take a look at one more element of search engine optimization in action related to these pages. You may have noticed that in all the search engine results we had a title followed by a short description. Where does that information come from? Well, if we look at the very top heading in the browser, you will see the title. Dog Boarding Kennels Kent, etc., followed usually by the name of the browser. This is called the page title, and this is what shows up in all the various search engines. If we go to one of the pages, we can look at the underlying page source code which generates the visual web page. In Firefox, this is done by right-clicking on the page and selecting View Page Source from the pop-up menu. In the source code, somewhere near the top, we have what is known as the title meta tag, and the title meta tag contents is what shows up on the title line of the browser. It also shows up in your bookmarks when you bookmark a page. It's also what shows up on each of the search engine listings. Below that is the description meta tag. As you've probably already guessed, this is the description shown by the search engines. There is also a keyword meta tag, which can contain the optimized keywords for the web page. But I have to say that due to misuse, this is generally not used by the search engines to the extent it once was. These meta tags should be specific and customized for every one of your web pages if you want to stand a chance of getting on the first page of the search engines. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you found it interesting. More videos and tutorials can be found on my website. I'll see you there. And thanks again for taking the time to view this video.